to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Damaris, also known as Damaris Dash a Bit Weird.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is not Wednesday.
No.
Today is Thursday, the 16th of April, 2015. And this is episode 136. We'd like to say a big welcome back to all our returning viewers. We love you guys. And a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. We're a little tired from our trip. We'll talk about it all in Yummies. But yeah, that's why we're recording a day late, just in case you missed the announcement last week. We've been on a little holiday, and we're really tired. But we still wanted to record because we have stuff to show you. And new yarn. Souvenir Yarn doesn't count as new yarn, does it?
Yes.
No. It's just like sock yarn doesn't count as part of your stash.
Mama, that's what most of your stash is.
No. I have a very small stash because sock yarn does not count.
Why?
Because it's just a skein.
Yes, it's just a skein.
It's just a skein. It doesn't count. Right? Somebody affirm my view and position on this. It doesn't count. Sock yarn doesn't count.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wronger.
You're the wrongest.
You're wrongest to infinity.
You're the wrongest. Infinity times infinity squared.
That's still infinity.
I won though.
No.
Yes. We should welcome somebody who introduced herself in the group this week. Sorry, my brain is like, okay. But we had somebody new introduce himself, so why don't you give him a shout out, Mare?
Heather, who is Hador from California.
Hi. We inspired her to do a Stargate rewatch. We love empowering you that way. So, thanks, Heather, for introducing yourself. So, Damaris, if somebody is not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do?
Join.
And then what?
Introduce yourself in our introductions thread, and you'll get a shout out on our next episode.
That's right. So, because, if you're not a member of the Ravelry group, you can't win prizes or something about cows. You have to be a member of the group to participate in the cows to win a prize. To win prizes. And if you're not a member of the group with your birthday in your Ravelry profile, we can't tell you happy birthday. So make sure to join the group and make sure your birthday's in your Ravelry profile. Okay? Okay, we probably should get started. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. So, here we go.
So now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
So, Mare, what's on your needles?
A hat.
A hat. What kind of hat?
The Worm Hat by Katharina Knopp.
But what are you calling the hat? You gotta say it.
No.
Because it's funny. Say it.
I can do that.
So, you should tell us what the yarn and needles are so you can explain why.
The yarn is Easy Knits Arcadia in the Kirk colorway. It's the gold. And the gray is West Yorkshire Spinner's signature 4-ply in the Poppy Seed colorway.
And what needles?
US 4s and 6s.
So you're having a little bit of when knitting attacks.
Yes.
We're stealing that from the Knitmore girls for this segment. So what happened?
I was supposed to change the needles to do the main part of the hat, but I forgot.
It happens to all of us. So you're just going to rip back about 10 rows or so?
Mm-hmm.
And change the needles and you'll be good to go. Yeah? You didn't tell them why you called it the whatever you said cat.
Because it's Star Trek.
What kind of Star Trek?
Star Trek.
No, but you gotta explain.
It's a Star Trek reference. Chekhov says it in the new movies.
And you like Chekhov?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Anything else you want to say about your hat?
No.
Okay.
So what's on your needles?
A lot of stuff, but I didn't get much progress on anything except for one project. But I did do a little bit on each of them. I'm scrolling the show notes so that I can see all the details to tell you what I've done. So in case you're watching like for the first time or something or don't know, the show notes are over here on a computer. We should try to figure out how to put them like right here. That would be really helpful. How could we do that? We could move the TV tray there.
Why don't we talk about this later? So what's on your needles?
I've had inspiration.
What's on your needles?
Don't let me forget my inspiration.
What's on your needles?
I'm telling you. I'm going to tell them what's on my needles, but don't let me forget my inspiration.
What's on your needles?
Okay, what's on my needles? A shawl. A shawl. Which bag? My coffee bag from Knit Run Dig. I am knitting the Halfway There shawl by Vera Valimaki. Sorry for the jingle. I've got stuff on the zipper. And I am knitting it on US 7's 4.5 mil needles. And I am using Rainbow Heirloom Lush Light. So this is her brand new base. It is baby alpaca, cashmere, and silk. And OMG. It's so squishy. So I'm using the gray, it's a pale gray, is Apparition. The turquoise is Blue Raspberry, and the purpley pink is Princess Rockstar. I changed the cables since the last time I showed you. Sorry, Damaris, it's like right in your eyes. So it's a crescent. It's still not stretched out completely, but I did like a repeat or two on it before we left. But yeah, her yarn is so amazing. And I was looking a while ago at the brand new pattern in the new Tin Can Knits book, book. No, it's a real book too. It's their new baby book, and the brand new pattern is a baby blanket. Something about flying away,
Yeah,
something like that. Because I just read a blog post about it. It's got it out of my brain. And it was knit in Rainbow Heirloom, because I just assume people know this. Rainbow Heirloom is the yarn company that Emily of Tin Can Knits does. So Emily is both companies. Does that make sense?
yeah.
So, and it's beautiful, and you can now buy a kit to do the blanket all in Rainbow Heirloom. Fabulous. After all of the patterns release in the new book, we will review it. Yes. So, anyway. Yes, this is my shawl that I am knitting on. And I love it. It's it's squishy. Garter stitch and short rows to make the shaping and the stripes. So that is on the needles, and I just need more time to work on it because I love it. Next up, my Mama Vertebrae did get a little bit of work this week. So this is a pattern by Kelly Brooker, and I am on US 2's 2.75 mil needles and US 3's 3.25 mil needles, and the yarn is Yarnorama in the cerise colorway. So I'm still working on sleeve 1. Yes, I know. I told you the other day that I should just save the last few rows till Stash Dash starts so that I can count all this yardage in Stash Dash, which is a cal that the Knit Girls run every year from like, I think it's like the endish of May to sometime in August. Laura is a school teacher, and it runs during her school break. So I don't think they've announced the official dates yet, but it's a really fun thing to try to get 5K worth of yarn knit or spun. You can spin yarn too. But if you finish a project during Stash Dash, even if you started it before Stash Dash, as long as you finish it during Stash Dash, you can count the whole yardage of the project. Anyway, I got from this little pink one right here, so right there all the way up to here, knit this week. So I made some progress. That's probably maybe 5.5 or 6 inches. Come on, folks, that's progress. Yeah. I don't know where I am. I'm somewhere maybe like right around here on my arm. See, there's my elbow. So maybe right around here. So I'm getting close to the end of the sleeve. It's never ending. I don't think it's ever going to end. Just sleeve forever. But I did get a lot of sock knitting done because that's all I took with me on the trip. And I'm knitting my Rainbow Butterfly Unicorn Kitten socks. Because Rainbow Unicorn Butterfly Kitten. So I am using my own free pattern, Cece's Vanilla Cappuccino Socks, which you can get for free on Ravelry. Just follow the instructions. And I'm on US 1.5 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Pandia's Jewels Super Sparkle in the Rainbow Butterfly Unicorn Kitten colorway. Sock 1 is done. And you cannot, it sparkles, I promise you, the sparkle is so, there's a little bit of sparkle. The sparkle is so amazing. Sparkle, 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 sparkle. So, I did one whole sock, and the toe, and I'm just barely started on the foot of the second sock. However, I came home to a big work project, so there's a good possibility by the time we record next week, this sock will be done, because it's the only thing I can knit while I'm working, because it's simple enough, you know what I'm saying? It's mindless, but my hands stay busy. So, yeah. So, that's everything that's on my needles right now, which means I have some FOs. So we should move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
So I have 3 finished projects this week. How did that happen? I can't show you the first one because it's a secret. It's my, it's socks. It's Doctor Who inspired socks. It is the second pattern for the Doctor Who Companions Sock Club 3rd edition. And they are done. The second pattern is done. And I've got to type it up and get it sent to testers in the next few days. So, testers, if you're watching, check your email. Because hopefully by the time you are watching this, I've sent you an email. If not, it's on the way. Okay? Okay. But speaking of the Doctor Who Companion Sock Club 3rd edition, it goes on sale Saturday. This Saturday, the 18th. That's like 2 days from when we're recording. So if you're watching this, it's probably already on sale or about to go on sale. So don't forget. So it is, it's a collaboration between Julia, who is Nimrus on Ravelry, who is the amazing dyer of Pandia's Jewels yarn. And so it's a collaboration between her and I. And what we do is we pick 3 Doctor Who companions, and she dyes up yarn inspired by them, and then I design a pattern, a sock pattern inspired by them. So we've got 3 new companions. The kit, so the yarn will ship out on May 18th, June 18th, July 18th, and the patterns will be sent to you via Ravelry on May 25th, June 25th, and July 25th. And there is an amazing, huge goodie. I don't know which month she's going to send it out. So it'll come to you with one of your yarn shipments. The price. It already includes shipping, and the only reason for different prices based on where you live is because of the shipping cost. So in the US it's $160, Canada $174, and international $187. And you can purchase it at pandiasjewels.com, links in the show notes. And then it'll be on sale this Saturday the 18th. So don't miss out, because it sells pretty quickly. So don't miss out. Speaking of design, though, I'm about to cast another design on that is not Doctor Who inspired. I'm going to be designing, I know. I'm going to be designing the sock pattern for the Indiebra Yarn Crawl 2015. This is the second year I've designed the pattern, and it's the second year of the Yarn Crawl, so very cool. Jess from Ginger Twist Studio is dyeing up an exclusive colorway for the Yarn Crawl. It's not ready yet, and I need to start designing. So I'm going to design it originally on a skein of sock yarn from my not counting sock yarn stash. It's pink. Does that surprise you? No. It is from Holiday Yarns. It's the Flock sock yarn, 400 yards. I assume 100 grams. It doesn't say, but I assume. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And the colorway, Pink Lady. How perfect is that? This was a gift from one of you lovely viewers, And my brain's working so badly right now that I can't remember who. Do you remember?
No.
So sorry. I do appreciate it very much. Love. It might be on my yarn stash page, but I did not think far enough ahead to get it. So anyway, I'm going to be casting that on, hopefully, actually, probably later today. And then once the yarn is dyed, which hopefully is happening in the next week or so, I'm trying to put the label back in the middle of this yarn, and it doesn't want to go in. But I'm going to force it in there very carefully. Okay, good, done. So I'm going to go ahead and design it on the pink yarn, and then knit it up in the other yarn as well, the exclusive. And then that will be the sample for the yarn crawl and also for the show, which means the pink ones, which I'll photograph as well and put on the the pattern page and everything. But that means I get to keep the pink ones for me. How perfect is that? What else have I finished? Preemie hat for the week, of course. There we go. It's a rainbow. So this is number 15 for the year, and this is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry. If you want to knit preemie hats, check it out. It's got 7 sizes, I believe.
I don't know.
Somewhere around 6, 7, 8. I don't remember, but it's there. This was on US 6s, 4mm needles, and the yarn is West Yorkshire Spinners Air Valley DK in the rainbow colorway. It was left over from a baby vertebrae sweater that I knit for a friend. So there is number 15. And then I also finished a super secret project that I'm going to show you, because I'm not going to tell you who it's for, so maybe that way it'll be still okay. So I knit a square for a blanket that is being done collaboratively with other people for a special person for a special occasion. Is that secret enough? So the pattern I used was the 10 stitch blanket by Frankie Brown, and I did it on US 7's 4.5mm needles, and I used Cascade Yarns 220 Superwash Sport in the daffodil colorway. So it started right here, and you do this, and you turn the corner and around and around and around. So, you know, for a real blanket, you would keep going and going and going and going. But I thought it was fun. You could turn it this way and make it a letter. Hopefully you can't hear the kids screaming in our alcove. If you can, I'm sorry. So yeah, but speaking of, I'm just rambling this week. I'm so sorry. Is it okay? Sure. Okay, because I'm going to ramble some more. So, you know, this Frankie Brown, who designed this 10 stitch blanket, has other 10 stitch patterns. And she has this one, what's it called, Damaris? 10 stitch...
I don't know.
Zigzag, something. That makes it a zigzag pattern, and it's in strips. Do you see where I'm going with this? You see this right here above my head? All this lovely sock yarn that's left over from sock projects or other projects.
Which counts as part of your stash?
Which does not count as part of my stash because it's still sock yarn. What if I did this blanket and a different color for each strip? And then it can just be an ongoing work in progress that as I finish a pair of socks or finish a project that is sock weight, I could add another strip. Because then I wouldn't have to seam things up, because you do it, you pick up the stitch and it's magic, and you don't have to sew anything other than weaving in your ends. How fabulous would that be? Because that's my issue with like hexapuffs or the mitered squares or the I think it's like called the barn raising squares, or is all the seaming you have to do, and that's just not my cup of tea. I don't like seaming things up at all. So, I don't know. I'm pondering doing this, and maybe Damaris would share some of her sock yarn stash with me that you've gotten quite a lot of after you make hexapuffs with a color. Maybe I can use some too. That'd be fun. Anyway, I'm thinking about it. Who knows? Like, I need another project on the needles. Like, I don't know. Like, I need more pink in my sock yarn non-stash. You know? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I've been rambling for so long. We probably should move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show. Yummies. What are yummies, Mare?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. I'm laughing at you because you're ripping back your project, and so I just keep seeing this hand with yarn coming across the screen. But you got all the stitches picked up?
Yeah.
And you're ready to start it back after you pull out the other stitches. Rows, I mean. You're making me laugh.
Yeah.
So we went on holiday this week, Mare.
Yes.
Where did we go?
Nottingham.
And why did we go to Nottingham? Because why?
Because the hubs.
Yeah, your daddy.
Yes, but we refer to him as the hubs.
Yeah, he is the hubs. Even though, yeah. So what about the hubs?
Was presenting a paper at a conference.
Yes, and so we tagged along for the ride. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. So he was at the conference most of the time, but he did sneak away for a little touristy stuff. And you and I did a little bit more touristy stuff, but we should start with... Okay, well, let's do this. All the photos that I took, because I don't know if you and the hubs have added your photos to the albums yet.
I haven't yet. I've got them downloaded to
Okay. So it'll just automatically update them. But all the photos are in the show notes as slideshows. So there's 3 slideshows because we were gone for 3 days. So if I posted some photos to Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, but if you want to see them all, that's where to go. So we also recorded a little bit of video, probably like 3 minutes or so, that we're going to insert in here somewhere. I'm not sure where, but it'll happen as I do the editing. So, hopefully it's not too convoluted. So, we played a boatload of games while we were gone.
Yes.
Because we took traveling type easy games with us. So we played a lot of Monopoly Deal. We're almost to our 10-10 in 2015 challenge goal on that. We played, what's the other one that's in the red box? Cluedo cards. We played that, and then we played those other 2 boxes.
Monopoly,
Skip-Bo.
Phase 10.
And Phase 10. So we played at least one game of all of those. Some on the train, some in our room, apartment, etc. place. Yeah. So, okay, so we left out Monday morning, and we were traveling by train, which it was a beautiful, beautiful journey. The water was gorgeous. We saw 37 gazillion sheep and baby lammies. Baby lammies. Baby lammies.
Yes.
They were adorable. We had a 1-hour delay on a train because somebody had stolen the cables from the signaling lights, something or other. Somebody had stolen the cables, and so they were having to let only one train at a time through, so we had to queue in line to be able to go through, and so there was an hour delay. But thankfully we had knitting and games, and the hubs had books to read, so it was okay. I felt very sorry for all the people who had nothing to do and were just sitting there staring out the window. So we got to Nottingham, and we had rented a place through Airbnb, but the place we were supposed to stay apparently had some kind of yucky issue with sewage or something. I don't know. So they upgraded us and put us into a flat, a 1-bedroom flat, for no extra charge, which was good. Yeah, don't forget to change your needles there. So that was nice. We had this little flat, and there was an extra bed in the sitting room, so there was room for all of us, and we had our own little place. We were kind of in the city center of Nottingham. We had delicious dinner on Monday night. It was called, what was the name of that place? Annie's Burger Shack, something like that. Anyway, Damaris and I shared 2 burgers. We got a fajita burger that had guacamole on it. Oh, it was so good. But it was a chicken burger. Fajita chicken. So much food. I mean, we could have just shared that and it would have been plenty.
Yeah.
But we also got I don't remember what their official name of it was, but it was a mushroom and cheese burger. So good. And they had curly fries.
Yeah.
And they had wedges. I did not like the wedges very much. And they had some other kind, but we didn't get it. You got it?
Fixed it.
Yay!
Okay.
Huzzah! And then the hubs had to go to conference stuff. Tuesday we got up and went to Nottingham Castle. So, we got a wee little postcard to put on our postcard wall. So it'll go right over there on the wall. We went into the little gift shop because that's where you had to buy tickets to get in. And they had those machines where you put a penny in and you turn it and it flattens it and imprints it. Except for here, it's pences. You have to put a pence in. So
it's still a penny.
Yes, but you put a pence in. So you want to show the one you got, or you want me to just show it?
You show it.
So I don't know if you can even see it. Nottingham Castle. It's got Robin Hood on it. And I got Robin Loves Marion with a heart and the arrow. So I'll put that. So this box back here, this frame with Geeky the sheep, who went on the trip with us and is in several of the photos. This box is a shadow box, so I put tickets and stuff like that in from things that we do. So the pins will go in the box. So, yeah, Nottingham Castle. We did not do all of it. The lift was broken, and I could only do so many stairs. But, my gosh, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do anything. So, we walked around the grounds some. There was some statues. There was a gazebo.
Yes.
Actually, I think that's in part of the video that we took. In fact, I think we talked about the castle in the video we took. So what if we break right here and put in the videos that we took, and then we'll come back. Okay, here we go. Hi guys. Hopefully it's not so windy that this video is going to be like, OMG, the wind is so loud, OMG. Where are we, Mare?
Nottingham Castle.
In the castle, yeah. So we've walked through the museum that's in the main part of the castle that's still standing, because quite a lot of it was destroyed. And they've got a gorgeous gazebo here. And there comes the wind. Some statues, gorgeous flowers.
Yep.
Lots and lots of flowers. So I'm going to stop this video and then turn the camera around, see if we can video a little bit of where we're sitting on a bench right now.
Hi.
So here's Maris, up close and personal. So we're sitting on some benches outside. The castle is actually back here behind us. I don't even know if you can see it through the trees. But we walked down this little hill. There's a statue here. Who was the statue of, Mare?
Captain Albert Ball.
Yeah. And down below is where we first came in. And I'm panning this way. Hopefully I'm not getting too many people in the picture who don't want to be in the video. Sorry, folks. This is a gorgeous gazebo. What did you want to do in the gazebo?
Nothing.
She was going to sing the song from Sound of Music, the I am 16 going on 17.
You were
But
like, oh, we should reenact it.
yeah, I was like, we should reenact it. But unfortunately, the gazebo doors are closed and there's no benches. Can you see these gorgeous flowers? So yeah. So Mare, what have we done since we've gotten here to Nottingham? Anything exciting?
Went to the castle.
Yeah, did we do anything yesterday? We had a long delay on our train. We had to wait for an hour, thank God, for knitting, yeah, and games. We've played a lot of games. Lots and lots and lots of games. If you follow us, me on Instagram especially, I've been posting lots of pictures of games. So we're about to leave the castle because the Hubs is going to go present his paper at the conference. And where are we going?
To get pedicures
But first, what was the first thing I looked up when I knew we were coming to Nottingham?
I don't know.
What is usually behind my head when we're recording?
Oh, yarn shop.
Yeah, we're going to a yarn shop. So hopefully we'll take some photos and video, maybe a little bit in there. And then we're going to have a quiet evening in because the Hubs has conference stuff tonight. So that's the plan. I see the Hubs is coming down the hill over there. Not that way, Mary. You're looking the wrong way. He's behind a tree. There he is. I see him. So we probably should stop recording. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye. Yeah, so hopefully that told you. I can't remember what we said in the videos. But hopefully that told you all about what we did at the castle. It was pretty cool. Here's another map of the thing. So, and we looked at stuff in the museum and all that jazz. So, and we ate lunch there on the castle grounds. They had a nice cafe with sandwiches and soups and jacket potatoes and yummy stuff. We bought chocolate fudge. Oh my gosh, we still have some in the fridge. Maybe we should eat some of that after we finish recording.
Okay.
But it's very rich. Only one piece at a time because it's so rich. So after we finished that, the Hubs left to go back to his conference because he was presenting his paper. And Damaris and I went on an excursion. We got on a bus and went to a yarn shop. How can you go on a trip and not get souvenir yarn? It's very important. So we went to the Yarn Loft in Nottingham. I'm linking it in the show notes. There was a very lovely lady there who was the owner. Yarn Loft. And we chatted with her for quite some time. Her shop reminded me a lot, I don't know if it did you as well, of Be Inspired Fibers here in Edinburgh. It was kind of very much the same vibe, and they carry a lot of the same yarns and such and everything. So Geeky the sheep picked out yarn for us. Mm-hmm. Do you want to show yours?
Sure. This is Chopel.
It's a Zauberball.
Zauberball.
Yeah.
But that's not the company.
No, but that's what it is. It's Zauberball. And what color did you get? Is it just a number?
No, it has a name.
You put them in our stashes.
It has a name. Fuchsia.
So, in there a picture of how it's going to knit up? Yeah, it's tiny. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Mm-hmm. But it's like purple and fades and reds and fades and orange. Yeah. So I also got a Zauberball. What was mine called?
Floral Language.
Floral Language. So it's greens and kind of a creamy white and pinks and pinks. How could Geeky not pick out a pink yarn for me? So there is how it's supposed to knit up. So I've never knit with a Zauberball. You haven't either. I've heard about them. So we got Zauberballs. Fun. And then after that, we went and got pedicures.
Yes.
Because, spring is here supposedly. Although we're freezing right now, I'm like seriously thinking about having hot chocolate with my fudge. Because, chocolate and chocolate.
Put the fudge in the hot chocolate. And then eat another piece.
Oh, yes. That is so happening.
Okay, later. After we finish recording.
Fudge. What was I talking about?
Pedicures?
Pedicures. We had pedicures because it's spring.
Supposedly,
even though it's cold today. I don't know what's going on. It was warmer in Nottingham, though. I just had...
That's because we were further down south.
I know. I just had on a t-shirt with my maxi skirts that I wear most of the time. And I had my Neon Beast shawl with me just to wrap around me if I got chilled. But that's all I had, and it was fine. But then got back here last night, and it was cold.
Come on, summer.
Summer.
Go on, summer.
Actually, just come on spring. I love spring and the weather. in the spring, but it's not spring
But
yet.
during summer, you can go to the beach and go swimming.
Yeah, that is true. Anyway, so we had pedicures because, yeah, we needed them to get over our winter feet. What color did you get?
Purple.
And I got pink. Does it surprise you? And then we did a little bit of walking. Oh, you got something too. We stopped in a shop before we went back to the apartment. Do you know what you got?
Oh.
They're just sitting right over here.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remind her.
2 newer issues of Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel.
Yes, so we went into a comic book shop.
Yeah.
They had games, 2 board games. I wanted to buy them, but we had already gotten pedicures and yarn, and so it wasn't in the budget right then. But comic books was. So you excited? These are actually your first, like, paper ones, because you've got lots of digital.
Yeah. There was a She-Hulk volume 2, but I wasn't sure if I already had it turned up.
Did you?
I don't remember.
Oh, I thought you looked.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, yay. So we did that, and then we went back to our flat, and the Hubs was staying for dinner at his conference, and he had another meeting thing after dinner, so we ordered pizza and watched Indiana Jones, like the second half of, it was Temple of Doom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We don't have regular TV here in our flat at home. I don't miss commercials. Because this flat had a TV. I do not miss commercials at all. But yeah. And we played games and all the fabulous things like that until the Hopes got home. Then Wednesday, we got up, checked out of our flat, and what did we try to go do, Mare?
We tried to go to the kitty cafe.
So why don't you explain what a kitty cafe is in case people don't know? Because I didn't know about them either.
It's a cafe.
Yes.
Okay, and it's got kitties in it.
How does this work?
They're I don't know.
So, like, where are the kitties from?
Shelters, I think.
Some are, and so some can be adopted. Some also probably belong to some of the owners, workers, peoples. But it's also a cafe, so you can get, tea and coffee and cakes. However, what happened when we got to the kitty cafe?
You can go in.
Yeah, they were booked full already. We didn't realize we needed to book ahead of time because we didn't know about it until Tuesday when we walked by it. So, sad panda.
Yeah.
But you did discover that there is at least 1, possibly 2 here in Edinburgh, new. So maybe we can do it for like your birthday or something. I have a friend or 2 go with us. So we'll see about that. So instead we went to Starbucks because, coffee. I needed coffee. So we sat in Starbucks for a while, knitting. We played a couple games, a game or something. While the Hubs was at the conference because we had the big suitcase with us. And we did a wee bit of walking around in City Center before we headed to the train station. And then we just were exhausted and waited for the train. There was no problems with the trains this time around other than our connections were really tight. And the platforms were nowhere near each other. So it was like, we gotta hustle, we're gonna miss our train. So, yeah, maybe next time we'll be more aware of that so that we have a little more time between connections. So train ride home, games. No, we didn't play any games on the train home. No, we knit. I watched podcasts, and we met a knitter on the 3rd train home because it took 3 trains to get home. It took 3 trains to get there as well. We met a knitter and talked to her and invited her to knit night and told her about the podcast and invited her to the retreat and all that. So, yeah. So that was our trip. Did we miss talking about anything, Damaris?
I don't think so.
I think that was everything. So if you want to see all the pictures, go to the show notes. That's all we have in Yummies other than our normal stuff. Because we were gone. So, Damaris, why don't we talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is GGK Crafty Pad, Mare?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day challenge.
It should really be GGK Crafty Pad, but no.
And you take a look at our prompt list for the month, and for that day you take a picture related to the prompt, and then you post it anywhere you like, but we pick our favorites from Instagram.
What's this month?
Numbers.
So it corresponds to the date. So today is 16.
Yes.
And we've talked about cheater ways to do it. If you need help, watch a few episodes, recent ones. So what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked, and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
So here come the photos. So those were the photos from this week. You had a favorite out of them.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about it?
This is the one by Fuzzy Kit.
And what was it?
It was crocheted Spock, Kirk, and Bones, and like peeps and stuffed animals in the background.
But you really, you liked the picture, but you really liked the, what is it called?
Caption.
The caption. Can you tell us anything about it, or do you not remember it?
Bones was trying interpretive dance. That's all I remember.
That's funny. You should go find it on Instagram and read it, because it was funny. So, yeah, it's never too late to join in. Just look at the prompt, take a picture, tag it. GGK Crafty Pad, because that's how we find them. If you don't tag them, we can't find them. And if you are a private account, we can't see them unless we follow you. So make sure, if you are a private account, send me a PM on Ravelry so that we can make sure and follow you. I would love to follow everyone who follows me. I really would, but I just can't. Since there is no way to filter how you see your Instagram feed, it's just everything there. I just can't. It just overwhelms me if I have too many people that I'm following. But I will do my best. So, if you're a private account, send us a message and we'll work things out. Okay. Why don't we talk about upcoming events? Am I starting?
Yes.
Okay. So, first up is I Knit Fandango, which is Friday and Saturday, the 15th and 16th of May, at the Royal Horticultural Halls, Lindley Hall, Westminster, London. So this is a yarn festival, and I'll be vending there, so I'll have all of my Java Pearl Designs patterns, and I'll be sharing a booth with my good friend Sam of Knit Run Dig Project Bags. So if you are in London or traveling to London for I Knit Fandango, I looked at their website this morning, and there's like 40 vendors now. Maybe 39, right close to 40 vendors. So it's going to be bigger than I expected, so yay. So if you're in London or coming to London for that, make sure and stop by the booth and say hi. You want to talk about the next one?
This year's Indieburgh Yarn Crawl will be held here in Edinburgh on Saturday the 13th and Sunday the 14th of June.
It's coming up very quickly. So there are links in the show notes about where you can find out more information. There are some special classes being offered, and more details are coming through. So if you're in the area, it would be worth it to come be a part of the yarn crawl. There'll be 3 shops, and it'll be fun. And finally, the Geeky Puppet Nipalooza. When is it?
The 29th of October through the 1st of November.
Yes. Where?
The Gillis Centre in Edinburgh.
Which is in Morningside.
Yes.
And it's a knitting retreat with lots of fun things like 4 teachers with classes and a vendor market on site and a 3-shop yarn crawl and a goodie bag, project bag made for you by Sam, and an exclusive colorway of yarn. You get your choice of 2 from Ginger Twist Studio, and I've seen both of them and they're fabulous. And lots of things.
And one of the days is Halloween, so you can dress up.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
You're going to dress up on Halloween? Yeah, that's totally cool. What else is there? There's all kinds of stuff. I can't even name it all. So where should they go to find out more info?
Geeky Puppet Knitpalooza.
Okay, but you're not on the screen. Go this way. There you go. Now try it.
Geeky Puppet Knitpalooza.blogspot.co.uk.
Yep, so all the details are there and the sign-ups are there and you should sign up now because spaces are filling up rapidly. So go sign up now. All right, that's all the events. Yes?
Yes.
All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what books we're reading and what TV we're watching.
So what are you reading?
I am reading Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston.
Yes, how is that going?
I'm about halfway through it, I think.
Okay, what do you think?
It's interesting.
I knew you were going to say that. Is it good interesting or bad interesting or mediocre interesting?
Good.
Okay.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Okay. I'm reading a few things. My nonfiction book number 5 for this year is called Found, A Story of Questions, Grace, and Everyday Prayer by Misha Boyett, and I'm enjoying that a lot. I finished rereading book 2 of the Finishing School series by Gail Carriger, so that was Curtsies and Conspiracies. And then I read the third one, which I had not read before, called Waistcoats and Weaponry. It's a YA series, steampunk. It's fun. I enjoyed it. And so then I was like, what am I going to read fiction-wise? Because I didn't have anything else new in my queue waiting. And I was looking back through some favorites, and I decided to reread The Inheritance Cycle, which is by Christopher Paolini, and it's about dragons. It's really good. So I am currently rereading the first book, Aragon, and it's so good. It's so good. It's been a while since I've read it, but it's still so good. I'm enjoying it even though I know what's going to happen. So I'm having fun rereading that. Yeah, that's everything we're reading.
So let's talk about what we're watching.
Yes, let me scroll a little bit. So we did not watch all of our TV this week, obviously, because we were gone. So we have a list of about 37 zillion shows we need to watch to get caught up. Not really that many, but you know what I'm saying. So let's see what we did watch some of. So you want to start?
And we finished watching season 1 of Star Trek Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
And we started season 2.
Yes.
It's been a long road.
Yes, but we did that last week. But what did you think about the cliffhanger from season 1 into season 2 with what's his name, Daniels, the time traveler guy? I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Daniels, the time traveler guy.
Yep, that should be his name in the credits. Daniels, the time traveling guy. A lot of people didn't like this series, but I really enjoy it. The Hub does too. He said the same thing. So we're enjoying watching it. Rewatching it for us. Damaris has seen some of it, but not all.
It's because the Prime Directive wasn't there, and you're just sort of cringing
About
when they do something that they really shouldn't be doing. It's
Yeah.
Stop, guys.
And Malcolm is all like, we should really have some directives.
No. Is he?
Yeah, that's what he said. We really should have some directives about how we deal with things. Oh, there should be rules about that. And you're like, yeah, it should be called the Prime Directive.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? We're watching Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. It's a rewatch for me and a first watch for you. We're in season 3 now. The wedding is upcoming. I think it's at the end of season 3 when Dr. Mike and Sully get married. I love this show.
You're bad about not spoiling me.
You know they get married. There's the
Because
picture.
you told me.
No, the picture on IMDb is of her in her wedding dress.
No, it's not.
It is on mine.
It's not on mine.
I don't know what you're looking at then, because it is on mine.
It's not on mine.
Anyway, Mad About You, the Hubs and I finished rewatching the entire series. I cried through the last episode, which was Mabel as a grown-up making a film just like her dad. Oh my gosh, I cried. So now we are watching the final 6 episodes of Covert Affairs, which totally jumped the shark, and that's why it got canceled. But I have to have closure. So we're watching the last few episodes. I'm not sure which one we're on. It's saved over there. We haven't watched it since we got back, obviously. Okay, it's your turn.
Oh, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 2.16 Afterlife.
I don't remember what happened at all. My brain is just like...
Oh, this guy's mom is still alive, somehow.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You want to say anything else? You remember anything else?
No.
Okay, so what was the new episode?
2.17 Melinda.
So we haven't watched it yet. It's aired, but we haven't watched it yet.
Yes.
So we will. NCIS 12.20 No Good Deed, which I have no recollection of at all. I know we watched it, but I... Was it with the one with Denozo Sr.?
Maybe.
Maybe it was. I like it. 12.21 Lost in Translation. We'll watch after we record some point. We're also watching season 1 of NCIS New Orleans.
Captain Archer.
I know. It's really funny to be watching another show with him in it. And also, was it this week that when we watched Enterprise that, what's his name from Quantum Leap was in it?
Dean Stockwell.
Yeah.
I think that was last week.
Anyway, it was funny. Don't you love when your shows like crossover like that, but not really crossover, but yeah, you're like, oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We should rewatch Quantum Leap.
Oh my gosh.
After we finish Star Trek.
We rewatched Quantum Leap not too long ago.
When we lived in Houston.
Was that when we watched it?
Yes, that's when I watched it for the first time.
Oh my gosh.
I loved it.
Yeah. We're also not rewatching. We are also watching season 4 of Person of Interest, season 10 of Criminal Minds.
Yes.
Season 3 of Elementary. You have anything to say? Was this the one Holmes, one Watson episode?
Yes. And one Clyde.
One Clyde. Bones, season 10. Big Bang Theory, season 8. We're watching the final episodes of Atlantis. It got canceled.
BBC Atlantis.
Yeah, BBC Atlantis. It got canceled.
We already watched Stargate Atlantis.
Yes. It got canceled too. But, it did.
It's so sad.
I know it is. It happened a few years ago though, honey.
It's so sad.
BBC Atlantis got canceled recently. So we're watching the final episodes of that. And then Not Safe for Children, Outlander, I am watching not with Damaris. She's nowhere around when I'm watching it. Headphones, or she's asleep, or her door's closed, or whatever when I'm watching it. I watched episode 1.10 by the pricking of my thumb. It was a good episode. It wasn't as good as some of the other recent episodes. So, I mean, does that make sense?
Yes.
So, yeah.
I fixed it.
Yay! Now you can zoom on. Yeah, so I need to rewatch it because I try to watch them at least twice. So, the new episode this weekend is 1.11, The Devil's Mark. And that's all the TV. We'll probably have quite a lot to talk about next week since we have a backlog. All right, well, let's get on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our March, April, May Sheepy Spring Cow.
Bah.
By yourself.
So this started March the 1st and runs through the 31st of May. You should really watch to the end of the episode because we had a total hysterical time trying to introduce this. And I was laughing so hard I was crying. And so watch to the end if you want to see us, losing it. Okay, anyway, back to the cow. It's for anything you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you convince us is related to spring. How?
Colorway name, purpose, pattern name, when you did it.
That's the cheater-friendly way. It can't be for works in progress. You have to start it March 1st or later, and you have to finish it by the 31st of May. Double dip in other cows, that's totally fine. All the prizes are listed in the show notes. I'm putting a collage of them on the screen right now. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Love y'all muchly. What else? Anything else we need to say? I'm scrolling to see if I'm missing anything. Hashtag GGKSSK. You have 30 days to claim prizes if you're a winner. Each finished project is one entry. There's a chatter thread. Must be a member of the group. Yeah. All right, Mare, why don't you tell us who finished projects this week?
Okay. A1 Darwin, Allison Roseboom ×3, Angie's Hip, Angie Ann, Ben DJ, Blue Flame Zero, Celeste ×2, Cindy L. In, Christy Ray ×4, Crouching Cheese ×2, Denise Chang, Dragon Rose, Eileen D, Faithful Knitter, Fjord Lord, H. Scruggs, Knitter Joe 2, Knitting Gnome, Little Monkey's Mom 85, El McCall, Looney Hiker, Mialdi, Nana PEI, PAZ Scott ×3, Ruzy ×2, Sarah Jane McKelvey, Tiny Dancer Knits, and Vegan Jilly ×3.
Great job, everybody. I had so many to comment on this morning because I didn't comment on them while we were gone on holiday. And so the post is like 37 miles long because there were so many FOs while we were gone. Yeah. Well, we should move on to the next cow.
And now we're going to talk about our Doctor Who inspired socks gal.
So who are we hosting this with?
Julia, who is Nimrus on Ravelry from Panty's Jewels, and Sam, who is Stealth Dragon on Ravelry from Knit Run Dig.
Yes. This started on April 1st, and it runs through the 31st of May. You have to knit one of my Doctor Who inspired sock patterns if you want to enter for prizes. If you don't want to enter for prizes, you can knit anything Doctor Who inspired and just knit it along with this. That's totally fine. But to qualify for prizes, you have to knit one of my patterns. Okay? And there's a bunch of them. I'm not going to name them all. We've done that in the past weeks. You can get up to 3 entries per finished project. So you get 1 entry for starting and finishing one of my Doctor Who inspired sock patterns. You get a second entry if you knit it out of Panthea's Jewels yarn. Any of them. It doesn't have to be one of the Doctor Who colorways. And you get a third entry if you use a Knit Run Dig project bag. It can be any of them. It doesn't have to be Doctor Who. You have to post a picture of your finished socks with the project bag. And so 3 entries, up to 3 entries per project finished. There's coupon codes. There are prizes. It's all in the show notes. First let's talk about, we had 2 people finish their socks this week. Yep.
Yes.
So do you want to say who they were?
Sure. Ahola Knitting finished socks for 10,
Mm-hmm.
and Vegan Jilly finished Missy socks in Panthea's Jewels yarn.
Great job, y'all. We are also giving away prizes if you participate in the chatter threads. So we're randomly picking a group, so you don't know which group of the 3, because there's chatter threads in the Geeky Girls Knit group, in Panthea's Jewels group, and in the Knit Run Dig group. Oh, also, the FO thread is in our group, in the Geeky Girls Knit group. So each week we're picking a group, the chatter thread from a group, and then we're doing a random number generator and picking one winner. So this week we picked a post from the Geeky Girls Knit chatter thread. What post number was it, Damaris?
38.
38. And who is the winner?
Jilly, who is Vegan Jilly.
Yay! She finished socks this week. So Jilly gets to win one of my Doctor Who inspired sock patterns. So Jilly, once you see this, send me a message. If you already have all of them, don't worry, we'll work out something. Because that's what happened last week, is our winner had already purchased all of them that are out. So we dealt with things behind the scenes and made it. It works. It all works. So just send me a message, Jilly, and we'll work things out. I think that's everything for that. We have one more cow to talk about. So here we go. Finally, we have the Outlander cow, which is a cow that I am hosting with Jasmine and Gigi from the Knitmore Girls, Maria from Subway Knits, and Kristen from the Yarngasm podcast. It is inspired by the Outlander books and TV show, which is not safe for children. So Damaris does not watch or read this. Okay? Okay. So what you need to do is complete a project that you can somehow relate to Outlander. and then you post it on Instagram and hashtag it KiltMeNowCal. All that's in the show notes. Each podcast has prizes. Here are the prizes that I'm giving away. They can't see our hands moving because it's on the screen, but imagine us going, woo, behind the picture. All the details of that is in the show notes. I still don't know exactly when the show is ending. I'm thinking sometime end of May or early June. When that happens, I will then draw for prizes. And it will be a random number generator. It'll be a little bit of work, and Damaris will have to help me with that, but we will figure it out and award all the prizes. Okay? All right. Oh, and there's a chatter thread in I think all the groups that you can use if you want to chat with other people or if you have questions or anything. All right, that is all of the cows. So we should probably move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we answer them.
So Damaris, why don't you tell us what this week's question is?
Okay, this week's question is from Belinda, who is Bindi J from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And they ask, you're making preemie hats for charity in wool yarn. Here in the U.S., or at least in our area, they do not accept wool hats in the NICU. There is concern about allergies to the wool in the tiny newborns, so ours have to be acrylic to be accepted, or cotton. Wondering about that difference, I have a lot of sock yarn left over that would make great preemie hats, but it's wool. Guess I'll have to use it for heels and toes in future socks.
So, I know some hospitals have different rules. So if you're donating to a particular hospital or a particular group, make sure that you follow the rules for what they want for you to donate. The reason I do some that are not necessarily in acrylic is I tend to knit these the tiniest little size. When I was a hospital chaplain in the NICU, some of those tiniest little ones don't survive. And a lot of times there's also, because they're so tiny and not fully developed, it's important to the families to have something beautiful that they can put on their little one. And so I tend to make the tiniest of tiny little preemie hats, and most of the time I'll just use what I have, knowing that that's typically the purpose it's used for. And so then obviously there's not the concern about the allergies. So that's really sad, but I know it is a way to support families who are going through a very, very difficult time. So that's why I sometimes knit stuff that's not acrylic or cotton. So, sorry, that's a sad answer to this question. Thank you for knitting preemie hats and donating them, because I know from my time working in the NICU that the families are very touched and very appreciative of having something that somebody has taken the time to make for their wee little ones. So, thank you for doing that. So, so if somebody has a question for us, Damaris, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
That's right. So thank you, Belinda, for the question this week. Let's move on to a happier topic. Here comes some giveaways.
And now it's time for giveaways.
So we're announcing winners of one giveaway and then starting a new one. So Claire, who is Yellow Bear, the owner of Yellow Bear Wears on Etsy, she was at Edinburgh Yarn Festival with us, and we have a prize from her in our Spring Cow.
Yes.
Someone donated money and then we purchased a prize. And when we did that, she also sent along some of her greeting cards to give away as prizes. So we did the random number generator off camera, because it just makes it faster. And what we did is the first number we drew was the first card in the stack. However, I had them stacked on the shelf. So our three winners. Damaris, who's the first winner?
Jilly, who is Vegan Jilly.
So Vegan Jilly. Jilly, you are getting this beautiful card, which has the knitting needles and the yarn and the other little goodies. Who's the next winner?
Amanda, who is Little Panda 518.
Amanda, you are getting the gorgeous Knitting Gauges greeting card. And finally,
Charlie, who is Lottie Lou 13.
Charlie, you're getting the knit word out of lots of little knitting stuff. Tools and things like that. So, Vegan Jilly, Little Panda 518, and Lottie Lou 13. Send me CC a PM on Ravelry to Java Pearl. I need your full name and mailing address, and then I will post these out in the mail to you. You have 30 days from the day this episode goes live to claim your prize, or you lose it. And we'll use it for something else. So, make sure and send us messages. Damaris, we have a new giveaway. 2 prizes.
Yep.
So, Julie from Tillyflop Designs. Hold on, I'm telling them. Tillyflop Designs, who was also at Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and we also have one of her goodies as a prize in the Sheepy Spring Cow, because the same person who donated some money, we also bought something from Tillyflop, and then she sent us some extra stuff. So, she makes these hilariously funny, knitting-inspired, she might have some that are not knitting-inspired as well, crafty-inspired, temporary tattoos, and they're so funny. They would be fabulous for, like, if you're going to a knitting retreat or a fiber festival to, like, show your knitting fun. So, we're going to have 2 winners. Each winner's going to win one of the temporary tattoos. You want to show you that one, and then I'll show this one? Okay, there. So it shows it right on the camera. It's backwards when we are looking at it so that it comes out right. So you have yarn with knitting needles with the word knit with stitches in it. The one I have is knit hot, I am and I do, with the stitches. So, Damaris, do you know what they need to do in order to be eligible to win one of these tattoos?
Yes.
What do they need to do?
You need to go to Tillyflop's Etsy shop, which is in the show notes, and tell us your favorite item from her shop.
Where are they going to tell us their favorite item?
In the giveaway thread in our Ravelry group.
Yes, so I will start a thread that will be no chatter. So 1 entry per person, and you tell us what your favorite item is from Tillyflop Designs Etsy shop. We'll leave this open until we record. What episode is this? 136?
Yes.
When we are ready to record episode 138, we'll close this thread and draw for 2 winners. So you could win Knit Hot, I Am and I Do, or Knit. These would be so fun to wear like at the retreat or something. Yeah. All right. Well, those are our giveaways. So much thanks to Claire and to Julie for their donations. Love. All right. Let's move on to the next segment. Oh my goodness, Damaris, this was a long episode. We had more to talk about than I thought. And I was kind of rambly in the first 2 segments. Sorry. It happens when I'm tired. So we're done. Let's see, what should we talk about? We are Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk affiliates. So the links in our show notes and the ads in the sidebars and such are such that if you click on them and then make a purchase on the respective .com or .co.uk site, Amazon then gives us a little money back, which helps pay for prizes and shipping and badges and technology and all the behind the scenes stuff that happens to make this podcast happen. So we very much appreciate your support if you are going to be purchasing on Amazon.com or .co.uk. If you'd click through, I know lots of sites, lots of podcasts are doing this. We each appreciate your support, even if it's just a few pennies, because you add all those little pennies together and they make dollars or pounds. You don't add pennies and dollars to make pounds. You add pences to make pounds. Yep. Okay, so that. We also have a PayPal donate button if you want to help us that way. It's on the show notes. Speaking of, where can they find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.blogspot.com or .blogspot.co.uk.
Yes.
There are links to everywhere else, so you can find us online, YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
So with that, we're going to tell you goodbye because this is a long episode, and hope you've enjoyed watching it. And we will see you back next week. We'll see you back in just a few days because we're recording late. So we'll see how much progress we have on stuff between now and then. So we hope y'all have a great rest of your week. Happy knitting, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye. And now we're going to talk about our March, April, May Sheepy Spring Cow.
Bah. We saw lots of bahs on our trip.
Yes.
Bah.
Baby lambs.
Baby lammies. They were so cute.
All lambs are baby lambs.
They're baby lammies. They're so cute. Anyway, the cow. This started March 1st and runs through 31st of May. And it's for any project you... Are you like tapping your toes on my knee for a reason?
No.
Are you trying to get my attention?
No.
We both have our left foot up on the couch with our left foot underneath our right leg, and she's like tapping her toes on my knee. I don't know, I thought she was like trying to get my attention subtly, like, well, you're saying something wrong here. Am I saying something wrong here? Okay.
Mama, you're not saying something wrong here.
Okay, well, let me get back to what I was talking about. I don't know.
It runs from the 1st of March through the 31st of May.
Yes, it's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to spring.
That's so funny.
Damaris, how can they relate it to spring? What did you tell them while I try to stop crying?
Okay, you can... If I color name, press mama. I'm stopping.